Run it back, Nation. What is good? It is your boy DJ Swood. Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. You know the drill. Algo gang. I'm up here giving you content on the Eagles and Sixers as much as I possibly can. Please just consider showing your appreciation by hitting that little thumbs up. It's really easy and it goes a long way. And hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's get into it. So I was trying to cover a couple of different topics during the lunchtime live today, and then my OBS crashed and ended the stream. So if you were in that stream, thanks for being there. We're going to try to be doing that again every single day at 12 o'clock, a 1-hour show live with you, the subscriber, okay? But since that stream crashed, I'm just going to cover some of the topics that I wanted to cover in separate videos. So here you go, man. Yesterday, the SixerSense put out an article that said ranking every NBA team's big three, and I wanted to just go through it with you and talk about it, all right? So let's go ahead and do that right now because I'm interested to see what the Sixers ranking is because, you know, they're what button? I pushed the wrong button. I'm having a bad day today. It's interesting because I think the Sixers have a big three. I don't think they needed another star like a lot of people thought they needed another star. And so it'll be interesting to see where they are on this list. And I think I can probably bet that wherever they are on this list, they should be higher. And you're going to see it this season because the emergence of Tyrese Maxey is going to be something serious. And the return of prime James Harden is going to be something serious also. But let's just see where they got him at, okay? Shout out to the SixerSense and Christopher Klein for this ranking article, okay? Number 30, San Antonio Spurs just traded away their young prospect point guard to the Atlanta Hawks. So there you have it. The San Antonio Spurs dead last. I guess that's not technically a big three, but you gotta put somebody last, right? The Houston Rockets, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., and Eric Gordon. That's interesting. Eric Gordon wanted out of there because they're rebuilding, but he's stuck there. So Eric Gordon is now a part of the big three in the Houston Rockets' young rebuilding team. The Utah Jazz, who just traded Donovan Mitchell after trading Rudy Gobert. So the Jazz, Bogdanovich, Mike Conley, and Colin Sexton from the Cavs. Interesting. So you got the Cavs at number 28. 27, the Orlando Magic, up-and-coming young squad. Paolo Banchero, the high pick in the draft. Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner. 26, Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey. It's interesting to see where the Sixers are going to be on this list, man. I think the Pistons are going to be really, really good in a couple years. Cade Cunningham's a stud. Sadiq Bey, Jaden Ivey, who they just drafted. So interesting. The Charlotte Hornets at 25, LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, and Terry Rozier. LaMelo Ball is going to be a superstar. I really think that. But, you know, the Hornets are going to have to start to put some better players around him if they really want to have some really top of the NBA level success. So the Charlotte Hornets are at 25. Oklahoma City Thunder at 24. That's pretty impressive for the Thunder with how much they've been tanking the past couple years and not really trying to put players together to be good yet. So, you know they still have SGA and then Josh Giddey and Lou Dort. I guess that's a big three. Their top pick, the guy that I told everyone to stay away from, Chet Holmgren, is already out for the season. He guarded LeBron James one time and broke his foot. So I'm not laughing at injury. I'm just laughing at the fact that I said stay away from the guy because he's never going to be healthy in the NBA, and he guarded LeBron James in a pickup game one time and broke his foot. I'm just laughing at the irony of how right I was. I'm not laughing at the injury, just to put that out there, okay? Number 23, Indiana Pacers. Halliburton, Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. That's interesting. I'm interested to see what the Pacers look like this season with the things they did this offseason and, you know, Halliburton being traded at the trade deadline or right before the trade deadline from the Kings. So interesting. The Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal refuses to leave this losing organization. So he's there. Porzingis, who can never stay healthy, is also there, and Kyle Kuzma. If they're all three healthy, it's actually pretty good big three. Porzingis is just never healthy. That's why I said stay away from Chet Holmgren, because he's literally Porzingis, and he's not going to be on the floor for more than 50 games a season, 40 maybe. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it, all right? So let's keep going. Number 21. Where do you think the Sixers are? Let me know in the comments right now before we move on. If you haven't seen this. Where do you think the Sixers are before we get to it? Because I'm interested in this. I really am. Because Tyrese Maxey, being the 45% three-point shooter that he was last year, does the rest of the NBA believe that he is a star and a part of a big three? So here you go. New York Knicks, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle. Absolutely devastating blow for the New York Knicks to have come up short on the Donovan Mitchell trade sweepstakes. Feel bad for Knicks fans. They never get what they want. But there you have it. R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. Jalen Brunson's a big signing, and R.J. Barrett's going to be a stud for years to come. Julius Randle stinks, but it is what it is. Number 20, Sacramento Kings. Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, and Harrison Barnes. The Kings are the worst-run organization in all of sports. I'll put anything on that. They traded a 21-year-old future star point guard for Domantas Sabonis. I'll never understand that trade whatsoever. It doesn't really put the Kings anywhere. It lands them at number 20. They consistently overpay players and trade away good players, and just, I mean, the Kings are just terrible, and they're always going to be terrible. That big three is interesting. I'd probably put them lower than 20, honestly. Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant, and Anthony Simons. I remember when Dame again refused to leave in the offseason, refused to request a trade or whatever, and the only thing the Blazers really did is signed insanely overrated Jeremy Grant. Insanely overrated. Yes, I watched him play when he was here in Philly. He is insanely overrated. He averaged 24 points a game because he was putting up 26 shots a game for Detroit. He got himself a payday. Shout out to Jeremy Grant, but the Portland Trailblazers, that's not really a big three either. Number 18, the Toronto Raptors, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and Scotty Barnes. That's interesting. I know Toronto fans love to hate on this channel when the Sixers play the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs. It's seemingly every year, but you know, I don't know if I'd have them that high either for the big three, because I like VanVleet, and Siakam was a good sidekick to Kawhi Leonard, but you know, I'm not really thinking either of these three guys are like NBA star level players. And Pascal Siakam, because he freaking broke Joel Embiid's face last season, okay? So screw him and screw the Toronto Raptors. The Chicago Bulls. That's interesting. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. They thought they were going to trade Vucevic this offseason. It didn't happen. They get Lonzo Ball back. I might actually put Lonzo Ball in this big three outside of Vucevic, but that's an interesting one, the Chicago Bulls. I think if Lonzo stays healthy, I think they'll be better than 17 as far as power ranking goes, but that big three they have at number 17 in this list. The Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane. Yes, that's a very good big three, and that is 16, which has the Sixers' big three ranked higher than 16, which means people are starting to believe in Tyrese Maxey as a star-level player. Number 15, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jarrett Allen. I agree. That is a big three. The dynamic of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland together is going to be interesting to watch. Jarrett Allen's a stud. The Nets are going to forever regret trading him and giving away 7,000 draft picks for Kevin Durant and James Harden, who then left, and Kevin Durant tried to leave, and Kyrie Irving tried to leave, and they're a disaster. But the Cavs at number 15. So are we getting closer to the Sixers here? Are Sixers top 10 as far as the big three goes? I think the Sixers are definitely a top 10 team because of Joel Embiid and James Harden on paper. But is their big three a top 10 big three? Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and John Collins. That is another interesting one. DeJounte Murray from the Spurs, who they traded away because they want a super tank. And the combination of him and Trae Young is going to be interesting. 2 point guards on the floor. I don't think that's ever worked really in the NBA. James Harden and Chris Paul worked because those two dudes were superstars in their prime, but that's an interesting one. Atlanta Hawks big three. New Orleans Pelicans big three. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Zion Williamson. Now look, if Zion's healthy, this is a really good big three, and I agree with this slot where they're at in 13. Okay, if Zion's healthy. He hasn't been healthy. He hasn't gotten back on the floor since his rookie season. Interesting to see if Zion comes back healthy this season and where the Pelicans will end up at. The Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Patrick Beverley. What? I did not expect to see Patrick Beverley's name anywhere on this article. Patrick Beverley is by no means a star, but he does provide plenty of grit and three-point shooting while playing within himself. Come on, bro. They didn't put Russell Westbrook on the big three. They put Patrick Beverley. What a shot to Westbrook, man. That's funny. Number 11, the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Kyle Lowry, who took us out in last year's playoffs because Joel Embiid was injured, because James Harden was not in tip-top shape because he was rehabbing the hamstring all last offseason. So Miami Heat being 11. Heat fans probably disagree with that, but I completely agree with that. I don't think they're that good. I think Kyle Lowry's completely washed. I think Jimmy Butler's one of the best glue guys in the NBA, but is not a superstar who's going to lead you to an NBA championship. That's just the way I feel about it. Bam Adebayo is a stud, of course. Miami at number 11. They got the Sixers in the top 10 on this article. That's all I'm saying as far as the big three goes. Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. That is a big three. That's a very good big three. The dynamic of Towns and Rudy Gobert on the floor at the same time. Two centers like it's 1979. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. I know Karl Anthony Towns is a perimeter center and prefers to be on the perimeter, so Rudy can stay in the middle. It's interesting. I think it was a massive overpay for Rudy Gobert, but Anthony Edwards, absolute stud. Love that dude. Love watching him play. So it'll be interesting to see. Number 9, the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Christian Wood, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith is nice. Christian Wood is nice. They gave up 2 first-round draft picks, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, for Christian Wood. Luka Doncic, probably this big three is up this high just because of how great Luka Doncic is at such a young age. See how much weight can Luka carry. So the Dallas Mavericks are at number 9. Where they got the Sixers at? Number 8, Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. They got the Celtics at 8. They got the Sixers higher than the Celtics on here, who just went to the NBA Finals. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, obviously a really, really good 1 and 2. Marcus Smart, perfect glue guy. They added, who did they add? They added a more of a traditional floor general point guard, Malcolm Brogdon. So that'll be interesting to see how that elevates the Celtics this season. Maybe higher than what they were doing last season. Maybe they win an NBA championship. Who knows? But they got their big three at number 8 on this list. Okay, number 7. I gotta disagree, SixerSense. I can't get down with this, bro. Come on. Bro. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on, man. You got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green at number 7. Did they not just win the NBA championship last season? Come on, man. How can you put them at 7? I can't put the Sixers higher than one of the best big threes in NBA history. And now I'm interested to see who's number 1 on this list. If you got Steph, Klay, and Draymond coming off an NBA championship at number 7. Number 6. There's number 6, the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey. I cannot, it's too much of a question mark right now to put the Sixers ahead of the Golden State Warriors as far as the big three goes. I can't put James, Joel, and Tyrese over Steph, Klay, and Draymond. I just can't do it yet, all right? But SixerSense getting a little crazy. I don't know what they ate for breakfast when they wrote this. But they got the Sixers at number 6 there. Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey. Number 5, the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. And hey, if they're all healthy, I got to pretty much agree with that. That is a very good big three. Last time we saw Jamal Murray, he had back-to-back 51-point games in the Western Conference Finals. Michael Porter Jr.'s had injury history his entire career so far, high school, college, and the NBA. So I think health-wise, I would probably put the Sixers ahead of the Nuggets if I had to predict their health. But if they stay healthy, they are a top 5 big three. I'll agree with that. The Clippers, again, if they're healthy, they are a top 5 big three. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Norman Powell. And let's see who's the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. How can you put that above Steph, Draymond, and Klay Thompson? I don't know. The Suns are good, but I'm never like blown away. The Brook at the. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Bro. I cannot believe that I'm seeing Ben Simmons on this list. Are you guys kidding me? Oh my God. I have no comment. I have absolutely no comment on that at all. I just got to laugh at that. And then at number 1, you got the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday. What are we doing here? Draymond, Steph, and Klay is number 1. Clippers, when healthy, is number 2. Sixers, Nuggets, when healthy, can battle for... Like, the Brooklyn Nets with Ben Simmons, you're going to have as the number 2 big 3 in the NBA. Give me a break already. When is everybody going to get off the Brooklyn Nets jockstrap? When's it going to happen? Absolutely ridiculous. That's all I got, man. Y'all have a good day, bro. Peace.